Hi, Bimbo. Thank you for being very proactive to resolving the technical glitches that you were facing earlier. So confirm that you can hear me, please. Hi, Bimbo. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Okay. Okay,
I can
cool.
hear
So
you.
I was just appreciating you for owning up to the bit of issue they had and then to still make it here on time. Thank you. I was just giving music to our audience just so they can wait for you. Okay. Bimbo is having a bit of network issues today,
Okay.
but hopefully we'll be able to overcome that. So do you want to take us through what we want to discuss today, the power of asking for help, right? So do you want to introduce the topic and just give a background to what prompted the discussion?
All right. Okay, yeah. Good evening, Joseph. Good evening, everyone. Good afternoon, good morning from wherever you're joining us from. We are super excited to have you here with us today. And this week, we are treating a very interesting topic that actually hits home because I see a lot of people that actually have these issues, but they keep quiet and don't want to talk about it, right? Now, the topic is the power of asking for help. And we're basically going to cover mentorship, community, and accountability. Now, you might want to think that why, of all topics, why did we consider to go with just asking for help. The reason why we picked this topic is because we've seen that a lot of people out there see this as something that is, would I say, just too hard for them to do because they feel like they're either too shy or not convenient, they're not comfortable enough to actually ask people for help. So that's the reason why we are covering this topic today. Now, another thing that I actually want to talk about before I give you the room to talk, Joseph, is having to start with mentorship. Now, how what does it mean for you to actually ask for mentorship? What does it mean to ask for help? What does it mean to ask someone to reach out to someone to mentor you? Now, I have a lot of people I see people when they reach out to me for mentorship, but then people don't do it correctly. People don't send messages the right way that they're supposed to send these messages. People don't they don't do some certain things that they're supposed to do to actually have them get this help from people. So these are some of the things that we'll be talking about today: how to thrive while finding help. Could it be finding help in mentorship? Could it be finding help in finding accountability partners, finding help in joining communities that would help your growth, finding help in just being accountable as a human being, something that you need for yourself. Now, these are some things that we'll be covering today, and should in case we cannot actually cover all that we have planned, we can actually continue next week too, just so we can actually go deeper and cover enough that we've actually planned. So I'll just quickly give you the room to talk, Joseph. I hope you
Yes, I
can
can
hear
hear you,
me.
Bimbo. I can hear you loud and clear. I think there may just be a bit of delay because of don't worry, everything is going to go very smoothly. So
Okay.
yes, but of all the topics, right, that could come to our heads, I was surprised that you came up with this topic and you actually won my heart of, oh, this is going to be like a very nice topic. And looking at the discussions behind it seemed to speak to me to leave every other thing I would have loved us to actually have as a conversation today and let you just have this topic on board. So I'm just thinking, what actually inspired you to come up with this? Is it your personal experiences with people or what you got from, I mean, experiencing from people? What I mean is people requesting for help, or do you also have that? Do you want to share like experience on while you were asking for help, right? What you got from those mentors that you intended to have as your mentors, maybe you got rejections or you got approvals, and then people are reaching out to you, they are not following that same formula that should work. And that's just one of the things that is actually inspiring you to bring up this kind of conversation. I just want to know, right? Or everyone there wants to know what inspired you to say, okay, Joseph, let's discuss this together.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that question. Actually, the reason why I thought about this topic is because from my experience, and then I would talk about my personal experience reaching out to people, and also my experience of people reaching out to me. Now, let me start with my personal experience of me reaching out to people. I believe that the one thing I believe is that in this life, you don't know it all. At one point in time, you're definitely going to need help. And when that time comes, you need to ask for help, right? So that's one thing I've always known. Even up to now, I still know that it is very important to ask for help. Now, coming down to me reaching out to people, there was a particular time that I reached out to somebody for help. Now, before, prior to the time I reached out to that person, I don't want to mention names. Prior to the time I reached out to that person, I was feeling like I actually knew what I was doing. There was this conviction in me that you know what you are doing. Must you even ask for this help? Must you ask this person to guide you? But then I now thought of it that if I keep on doing what I'm doing blindly and I don't ask for help, I wouldn't know if I'm doing that thing correctly or if I'm doing it rightly. So I had to just drop all the shame. I dropped all the I would say ego, proud, because that's what most people actually feel when they want to ask for help. They feel like, will I just go and meet this person? So I had to drop everything and then I reached out. And I was so glad that I did that because it enlightened me. It opened my eyes to so many things that I didn't even know that I was doing wrong at that particular time. So that was something that helped me. And so many other times, like a lot of times, multiple times I've reached out to people and they've actually helped me to do so many things I felt like I was already doing very well. But then they gave me more tips, better ideas that would help me do it better. Now that was something for me. Now reaching out to for mentees, for people that reach out to me for help, aside mentorship, aside joining a community, whatever kind of help it might be of, it's the kind of experience I've actually seen from those kind of chats that I get is that people just want to get help from you. All they want is they want to get help from you. Like they want to get something from you. They don't care if they have something to also offer, if they have something to give back. Now, one thing I usually advise is that if you want to ask for help, you need to do it strategically. You need to be that person that you are not just one-sided. You're not just thinking about yourself alone, what you want to get from that person. You need to think about what you can also offer that person. Now I understand that you're asking for help from someone, and then you don't expect that you should be that person that would be the one giving who you're asking help, right? But then aside just reaching out to that person, you should also think of a way that you can impact that person. It's like something that you can do to make that person feel good. Now, it will interest you to know that for me, when I get messages from people, now there was one message I got on LinkedIn. Somebody reached out to me, and when I read the message, it just attracted me to that particular person because of the way she composed the message. Now, she didn't only just ask for me to mentor her, she asked that if there is anything that I feel that I can actually give her to do. She's very open to doing that, and she's very good to go when it comes to helping with any other thing. And I was like, wow, so that means that she's not just interested in just getting from me alone. She also wants to help me to do something, and that's one side of the whole stuff that I feel like people should incorporate because it's actually really nice. You don't just want to put yourself first and then forget the other person. People are busy, exactly, we know that people are busy, but then you too be that person that wants to help in your own little way. Whatsoever kind of thing you feel like you can do to help whoever you're reaching to, please be sure to do it. Then another experience that I would like to talk about is reaching out in a very smart way. Now, we say ask for help. It's not just by sending a message and saying, hi, please, I need your help. Or now I'm just generalizing it now. I'm not focusing on mentorship or accountability or community. I'm just generalizing it. Now, it's not about you reaching out to people and just saying, "Hello, please, I need your help." No, you don't do that. You need to, if you're reaching out one on one, you need to speak to that person very matured, like in a matured way, that that person would see you as somebody worthy enough to help. Now, aside that, if you're sending a text message, you need to compose that message very well in a strategic way. You need to include some key things that need to be included in that message, so that that person is actually going to know who they want to help and why they are helping you. Now, these are some things that I feel are very, very important. So I wouldn't go so deep now because we've not actually separated the whole stuff. But then just let me know what you want me to talk about again so that we move on from there.
Yes, Bimbo, you're always on point. To be very honest, when it comes to topics like this, and I can leave it to you. I can give you the mic throughout the show, and I'm very certain that you are going to give like the best of responses to it. So while you were speaking, a lot of things came to my mind, and I'm just taking notes right here. Now, reaching out to people, your own personal experience you shared, and then people's request to you, and you requesting for help from other persons also you shared. I will just be telling you my own personal, like real life story. I was reaching out. There's a training that was going on one particular time in 2022 or so, or three, thereabouts. And then the training had gone very, very far. And that time I was out of job. Now I needed somebody to talk to help me learn something that I'll be able to use to look for another role. And then I reached out to someone on LinkedIn and I wrote him a message and I told him that X, Y, and Z is the reason why I need to learn something. But I am coming in because I want to offer training in the ongoing training, right? And then the person was like, How will you be coming into now? Let's have a talk. Immediately he called me. I think I was the only person who has ever joined that training like months into it. I learned a lot, and within that same month or two, I was able to get a role that fits in. So, what I'm trying to portray in the point to raise is the idea of also offering to render service, right, can also open doors for you. So, don't just be that person that wants to come to say, please give me,
Exactly.
without you giving, ready to also offer the one that you also have to, give to the person, right? So, the point that we're trying to raise here is that while you are trying to seek for help, also make sure that you're also ready to deliver something to the person you are requesting help from. So, one very important thing that Bimbo mentioned, Bimbo, can you still hear me? I see that the stage has changed. I think I need to do something right here. I don't know the one it is. Okay. I may just need to continue. I will check later. So, can you still hear me? Just confirm. Okay, cool. Thank you. So, I was trying to make mention of you, like what Bimbo mentioned. The idea of, I think Bimbo dropped off or something. Are you still there? Hello? Okay. All right. So I want to believe that she can hear me. Can you confirm that you can hear me, Bimbo? Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you actually.
Okay. So I'll just continue. So when you are trying to request for help, also render be be available to present assistance to whoever that you want to ask for help, right? And then another second point that we want to raise here is the idea of consolidated message. So when you want to send a message to the person that you are requesting to assist help from, you must make sure that you are sending a message that is complete. For example, somebody cannot be coming to ask for help and the first thing they want to say is hello, and then is waiting for you as a mentor to come back and say hi, and then when you receive the hi message, the next thing you want to do is to come back there and say there's something I want to talk to you about. So if you say there's something I want to talk to you about, and then you go again, and then waiting for the person to respond to you again, and then before you come back to say, please, I need you to assist me to do X, Y, or Z. The best thing is you have a consolidated message, a message that will carry like everything that you want to tell the person in a manner in which the person can really know that you need help, and then reading between the lines to understand that um, apart from needing help, generally the specific help that you need is that you want a mentorship on what angle, on what areas. And then you are able to say, okay, I have learned X, Y, and Z. I am trying to do A, B, and C, and then it is failing. I need you to assist me to achieve this. So Bimbo is coming back on stage, and I'm just going to add that now because there's something she needs to respond to. So Bimbo, can you confirm that you can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, cool. So the point I was raising before you joined back is the idea of consolidated message, right? You see somebody pop into your mailbox and tell you, or inbox rather, and say, hello, Bimbo. And then wait for you to come back to say, hi, Abiola. And then the next thing is, I wanted to talk to you about something. And then this person will go and wait for you again to come back and say, what do you want to talk to me about? And then a busy person is a busy person, and all of us are busy, right? And then I would have preferred that when you come, you write a message to say, hello, Joseph, how are you? My name is this. I know this, I know this, I know this. Please, I don't know this particular area, and I would like you to please mentor me on this, right? Like you have a complete message. If it is on WhatsApp, when this guy is coming back to check his WhatsApp, he sees that hey, somebody needs my help, and this is what he wants me to do for him, right? And then he reads and says, okay, let me rest. He can say, okay, I will respond to this later. That time he has a mental picture of what you are coming to ask for. Not coming to say, hello, how are you? It's good to tell me how, I mean, asking how I am doing, right? Hello, how are you doing? And then I reply to you, I am fine. And then you wait, and then I go, only to come back and see another message from you. I would like to talk to you about something. And I'm like, oh, what do you want to talk to me about? And then I go again. And then later you respond to me and say, um, you're giving me half-baked information. It will only prolong the process and also make you look like you are somebody who has come to waste my time because people don't spend their time sitting on that phone to see when your message is coming. So consolidated message is very, very key. And that's what Bimbo was talking about. That you should have your message all put together to even include what you are willing to offer. Because if you are willing to offer something, you tend to get more from whoever that you are contacting. So the point is that you have to consolidate your message and you have to make sure that you try to also offer something while trying to ask for help. And then before we go into like the real detail of today's conversation, Bimbo, I want to ask you something. You talked about being shy, right? While trying to ask for help or believing that you know this thing. So why do you still need help? Now, what do you think will be the effect of age while trying to request for professional assistance? Age and then qualification. For example, and years of experience. Age, qualification, and then years of experience. I will explain to you so that you can have like what I'm trying to talk about. Age is I am older than Bimbo. Maybe by I knew when she was growing up in the neighborhood, right? I knew when she was writing her jam, then I was already in 500 level. She's not my mate. How can I go to her to ask for help? That's one. Secondly, is that I am a university graduate. Bimbo is just from College of Education. How do I go to her to request for it? Another point is I have 15 years experience in IT. And then because Joseph just graduated 3 years ago and is doing cloud computing, now everybody knows him. He's carrying his MVP on top of his head. How can I go to him and say, I want to learn cloud computing after my 20 years work experience as IT support or infrastructure engineer? How do I go to him? So, do you want to talk about the effect of age, the effect of qualification, and the effect of years of experience while trying to ask for help? Or do you want to recommend something to the audience to say, if you are if you are 5 years older than Joseph, don't ever you go to ask for anything from him because he will take you for a child, right? Or do you want to say because you went to the university, if you even if you see that Joseph is building the whole world, don't you ever ask him for help because he's a polytechnic graduate or because he's just an ND holder? or because he did not even go to school at all. So can graduates really go to people who are not even educated to ask for help, professional help in quotes, right? And then the number of years of experience. Some persons have 20 years experience, 10 years experience, 5 years experience in an old skill, right? And then in the recent times, there are a lot of skills that have just come up. Data analytics is now very pronounced. AI engineering, scripting, and then prompt engineering, and all of those things are just on the talk as the talk of the town. What do you feel will be the effect of an advanced and experienced man and qualified man that are coming to people younger with fewer years of experience and with lower qualification while trying to seek help and mentorship, right? So, do you want to throw light on that? So that 5 years experience mentoring 20 years experience somebody, how will it be? Let's talk.
All right, great scenario and great question. Now, before I even say anything, let me just chip this in. A very big mistake that I see a lot of people make in this age is having to think that because of your age you cannot get something, you cannot get help from somebody that's you're older than, or because of your status you feel like you are too big, you are more than a particular person, and then you cannot reach out to that person. Now the problem is when you start feeling too big, or when you start feeling like, no, I can't reach out to this person, that is where you should kill it like very fast. Because now I understand that we are all human beings, and then at one point in time or the other you might, it's normal to feel that way. It's actually normal because you feel like, I'm 50 years old, I'm reaching out to somebody that is in our 20s for help. Like, what would people feel say about me, or how would I feel of myself doing that? Now, it's actually understandable, but something that I see that actually helps in situations like that is basically you just thinking about what you would actually get. Now, when I see myself thinking that way, because like I said earlier, it's a normal thought. People actually think that way. But for me, when I see myself thinking that way, I usually just pause and then relax. Then I think back and now begin to ask myself questions. Questions like, okay, now if you don't ask for this help you will stay stuck, and then if you don't stay stuck you would stay on what you're doing presently and take hours or take days or even months or years to do this thing. But if you ask this person that have done it, that and is successful at doing this thing, you can actually be faster at what you want to do, right? So I'm just me talking to myself and then giving me pointers to actually look into, to help me see reasons why I shouldn't feel bad or feel so not okay to reach out to anyone for help. Now, once I'm done asking myself those questions, I now like give myself assurance. It's more like giving yourself self confidence, like just to tell yourself that yeah, you can do this thing. It's You're not going to die. I've not seen anyone that died because you're asking for help. No, the least that could actually happen is that the person actually respond to you or actually say yes or no, and that is not a death sentence, right? So you can just try your best and then reach out to whoever you feel like is capable and somebody that you feel like can actually help you do certain things. Now, just to add a little to what I've actually said. Now, another very question that you asked about, you said you gave a scenario that somebody that finished university asking somebody that finished college of education for help. Now, let me just say a little story. Now, I finished from the university, right? And I remember at the time when I wanted to write my project, I was in need of help. I needed assistance from somebody. So I was just thinking, who can I reach out to? And then somebody just told me that that there's this guy that is very good, but he finished from a college. And I was like, college, I don't understand. Why would I reach out to is he actually going to know what I want to do? That was all that was going through my mind at the particular time. And I was like, then I had to call myself back to order that, hey, like, what are you doing? So I had to just put myself together and then reach out to him. And I was amazed at what this guy did. He did excellent. He did a very great job. So this is me just saying that it's not about status or age or your professional years of experience or just you feeling bigger than whoever you're reaching out to. It's about what you can actually get from that person and how well that person can actually help you achieve what you want to achieve.
As usual, Bimbo, you just nailed it again. So the point I even want to bring up is, in all of this conversation, is about the mentor, the younger mentor to an older mentee, right? Because in the polytechnic, right, I went to the polytechnic as well as the university. So during my days in the university, I had men that were about they were above 40 that year, two of them. And happened to be the cost rep, you know. So how do you spank an adult as a young mentee? It's very difficult. You know, you try to put in your best, right? You expect your mentee to maintain in a particular order, and it's your father's age. How do you even scold him, right? It becomes a problem. So that is a very big topic of conversation. We are just trying to introduce this topic and have like an all-round discussion before we focus on the specifics. So the point is, even up until recently, one of them came down to Lagos to see me and was like, "Hey, Josie." Like, remember those days when we had to sleep over in the school and try to put them through all of this and that, you know? So when elderly people or more experienced people than you that you are mentoring do things that are not right, morals, especially for those of us from Africa, we have respect for elderly people. So now, how do you manage the respect you're supposed to have for this person as because of his age, and then also be able to communicate to the person professionally to say, no, you are not expected to be doing this. That is the skill of a mentor in you. So everyone must be. I'm trying to look at the points I noted that when people were speaking. Everyone needs to understand that is about life is about chances, right? So if the chance you actually on favors you, you have to also understand that everything has something hidden inside of it. And then utilizing the opportunity you were given, do not undermine the fact that you must respect people, including your mentees as well. Now, how will it even look in a world of gender inequality, where a man is trying to reach out to a female for an assistance? If you see her in the global light, you like to quickly reach out, but you see this gender inequality syndrome would stop you again to say, if it were a man doing this, I would have reached out to him. And then you as a woman too, who is trying to render help to an advanced man or a man that is old enough to either be your husband or be your father, then how do you communicate to this person? So these are issues that we need to look at, because if people see how you attend to people of your age and those above your age, then it will actually inspire more people to reach out for mentorship. Now, the point I'm trying to raise here is that as young mentors that we are, if you are there as a young mentor, try to make sure that you, even if you are mentoring people that are younger than you, you mentor them with respect that everybody deserves, right? You need to first of all understand that you are at the right side of the court today does not mean that you cannot go to the other side when this person you also need help from people. So help is not a unidirection, it's not a unidirectional thing. It's something that floats from here and there. Chance and then time also varies assistance where it should be coming out from. So just note that every mentor in one way or the other is either a mentee or is going to be a mentee tomorrow. So when you have older people reaching out to you, you are just fortunate to be in that situation. Then use that to show a good example so that more people can be encouraged to go to other people for mentorship. And that's very important. Don't feel that you are the light today and therefore every other person is just under you and you just do whatever you want to do. No, try to make sure that in the first conversation that what you want to achieve is clear, so that when you want to spank an elderly mentee who is not doing the right thing, you can refer back to the conversation to say, hey, but I said that we should do it this way so that we can achieve X, Y, and Z result. Are you sure that you will still want to follow through this program? And then let it be clear. But I think enough of the general conversation. Let's go into the specifics now, Bimbo. So when we were trying to look at this, why do you even need to get a mentor, right? Um, so do you want to talk about the reason why people need mentor? Like I need a mentor, right? If I don't have one, then I feel that my career may not be going in the right direction. So what are those points that you feel that would actually make me to stand up and say, hey, let me go and look for a mentor, even at any level that you get to see, I need somebody that I will be mimicking. And then is it also good to have, so how many mentors can you recommend to somebody who wants to be mentored?
Okay. For me, I would say there is no limit to the number of mentors that you can actually have. Now there are different ways in getting mentors. It's not just by reaching out. Now there is something I call long distance mentorship. It's just me naming it that, right? Now, at the time when I started this, and now I'm going like professionally my career journey. When I started, I needed mentors. I needed people to mentor me at that particular time, and there was something that I did for me that really helped me. Now, I didn't really just go to people's DMs to ask for mentor because I know that people can actually be busy. So I was just doing it from a distance. I made sure to follow them. I followed their content. I watched YouTube videos. I was there to actually cheer them up when they post content. I will be there to like any speaking engagements that they actually are speaking. I'll be there to support, like just to get value from these people. That was how well I needed them to be my mentor. But because I knew that they were busy people, and even if I had reached out, I might not get a response because I know the caliber of people that I actually needed at that particular time. And another reason at that time, maybe because I was shy to reach out, but then having long distance mentorship really helps a lot. Now, in a way that you are not directly connected to that person, but from afar you are actually getting value from that person. Now if it's from their YouTube videos, you are watching their videos and they are helping you. Now, another mistake that I want to point out is that people really do think that mentorship is all about coaching. People don't know the difference between coaching and mentorship. Mentorship is not somebody sitting you down and teaching you how to use Microsoft Word, like from A to Z, or training you on how to do something. No, they are two totally different things, right? And I feel like that's what people actually need to look into to actually understand the difference between these two. Because I've had mentees, I've had people that would reach out to you and then they expect you to be their mentor, but then they want you to teach them certain things that they are actually supposed to know. So for me, this evening, I'm just going to explain what mentorship truly is, so that if you're here this evening, you should understand the difference between mentorship, training, and coaching. Now, what is mentorship? Mentorship is having someone to guide you. Now, guidance from someone who has walked the path that you're walking presently, someone that has been where you are presently, someone that understands how you feel at that particular stage that you are presently. That is what mentorship is. Mentorship is that person guiding you to actually succeed at whatever stage that you are. That is mentorship. And it's something that has to do with having real relationship with that person. Now, somebody cannot mentor you if that person doesn't really understand what you're going through at a particular set time. Now, this is something that will make me say this. If as a mentee, if you want to reach out to somebody for mentorship, be so open to that person. I love it when you are open to me, when you want to tell me, okay, this is exactly what I'm going through right now. Don't add any fluff. Don't just don't be shy to actually give in your all. Say everything how you feel. Come out openly, like say it the way it is, just the way it is. Say it that way so that the person will know how best to assist you with what you're going through at the particular time. So that is one point that for mentees. And for men, for um for the mentors, I would say that if you want to mentor somebody successfully, you actually need to create a relationship with that person. Because I have tend to come to understand that people feel scared of their mentors in a way, especially when there's a whole lot of age gap difference. Now I got an experience. I had an experience last month, very recently, just last month. Someone reached out to me. Very The age difference was a lot, and I was like, wow, this person is reaching out to me for mentorship. And I actually accepted, and we started, like, we said the whole mentorship session. And one thing that really was amazing to me was how respectful this man was. He's a man. He's an old man that is like more than it, like 50 plus, I would say in his 50s. And he was so respectful. He would even tell me, and as an African lady, I was trying to be overly respectful as well, because I know that he's old enough to be my dad. So stuff like that. But as because of what you said, that's the reason why I'm bringing this story, because you said that mentees should be respectful to their mentors. Now I'm saying that even the you said mentors that are young should be respectful to their mentees, right? Now I'm saying that even the mentees that are of age, is actually nice. It's actually good to see them understanding that, okay, this is it. You are not coming because you are older than your mentor. You're not coming to show that, hey, it's just because of what you know, I'm here, oh, I'm older than you, so I can actually treat you anyhow and talk to you. If you don't do what you're supposed to do, I will just rubbish you, stuff like that. No, it needs to be vice versa. We need to have that conversation. We need to have that relationship, that okay, we are both helping each other. You're helping me and I'm helping you. Now that mentorship, I got a lot from this man, because from his experience, he has a whole lot of experience, and then he was able to even give me more insights. We helped each other, and then it was a very wonderful experience. I would actually confess. So this is something that you want to hold on to, that okay, being they say respect is reciprocal, right? It doesn't matter the age or status or whatever. Just try to give in the best in whatever you're doing. Be that person that wants to help and assist. I think I would just give in for you to speak right now.
All right, so thank you, Bimbo, as always. So I read in a post from one of my mentors, and he said, "I would rather learn from the mistake of others because I will not live enough. I will not live long enough to make them." Right, and I will just rephrase that again. I would rather learn from the mistakes of others because I will not live long enough to make them. So the point is that what is even the essence of looking for a mentor is just so you can reduce your mistakes. Reduce your mistakes, right? It's very key because people, I if the way I mean, there's an analogy I usually make. If I am standing, I am facing you, and you are standing opposite me, you can see what is behind me, right? I can see what is behind you. I cannot see what is behind me, and neither can you see what is behind you. What that means is that where you are standing determines what you can see at that instant in time. And now, if you are requesting someone to assist you, it means that you want him to shed the light on the places that are gray for you so you can see them very clearly. Now, we're talking about the why you need a mentor. You get direct clarity on uncertain mistakes. There are some things that you unnecessary mistake, right, that you can make if you do not have a mentor. For example, the way I started off my career, the mistakes I went through, I am proud to say that my mentees are never going to go those routes, right? I will never allow them go those routes. Now, one very common mistake is prioritizing money over experience at your early stage in your career, right? I should be able to point out to my mentee to say, let's put this job that you just got, let's put the two of them together. Let's put them side by side. Let's weigh them and know which one is profitable. Now, we give you an instance. I'm talking about avoiding unnecessary mistakes, right? That is one of the reasons why you need mentors. And I want to give you an instance. In February this year, I had three mentees that got offers. Some were internship and some were full-time roles. And then if you look at the pay from the full-time role, it seemed to be way kind of higher than the intern role. But we had to now put, hey, come, let's put the two things together and let's really map them and see which one profits on the longer run. And then do you know what? One of them would have gone with the step I went with in 2021 by going for a particular option that I don't even want to also mention, right? But I have to say, no, it looks good to you the way it looks good to me in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
But here is 2025. I have spent like 4 going to 5 years already, and I have reflected and I said, no, you won't go this route. Go for the internship role. And the eyes were like, hey, going for, yeah, say yes, go for the internship role. And then now he and it being them or they are also already there. And they can testify already to the fact 2 months down the line that, hey, if I had taken the other, decision, it would have come back to rubber for me. So one of the reasons why you should look for somebody to guide you is because you don't want to make unnecessary mistake. And then Bimbo said something about coaching and mentorship. I really want to know the differences because I know the audience out there is also already looking at what could be the difference. Coaching, mentorship, what's the difference? Because I know that also if you are given a book of say pages, while it is good for you to start from page 1 to page 2 to page 3, page 4 till you finish reading that book, if you've come across somebody who wants to mentor you and has read the entire book and realized that the author needed to have put chapter 3 before chapter 2 because there's a way the flow is for you to understand it better, I can tell you, hey, don't go by chapter, but you can take chapter 1 and when you are done, take 3, 4, then come back to 2 because he has already read the book and now telling you how the flow should be. Now, I have mentors, but I have one particular mentor, and I'll be forced to mention the name here. So a lot of us will know Solomon Jeremiah, right? Solomon Jeremiah had spent like a lot of time to read like a lot of materials. And when it comes to some topical issues in cloud technologies, he would have broken it down for me in a way because he doubles as my coach also. So he would have broken it down to me in a way that when I read, I will now say, oh, this is actually what it means. Like I'll be reading with my understanding carried along with a mental picture I have about that topic. So if you have a mentor, you will actually save your time, right? And then you would also avoid unnecessary mistakes. Like that is a very, very important and strong point that will make you go for a mentor. You can get direction, you can get clarity to say, hey, this was going to be the end of this. Like if you are taking some exams, I had one of my mentees asked me recently, I'm writing this exam. Why am I even writing it? Right? Like the person is preparing for an exam. You know, the what you tell the person about the outcome of possibly passing that exam could even be a motivation to the person to even go like double down on the preparation, right? So if you have a mentor, you have clarity in what you are doing, you are you are certain in uncertainties, right? And then you avoid avoidable mistakes, right? And then you don't go the long route before knowing that you are not going to end well. So you can really know that, hey, I'm on the crossroad, and your mentor tells you if you take this one, you're going to spend like this particular time, and you will still return to the starting point. So you rather not go this way, but you can go this way. Therefore, saving your time, saving your energy, and saving all other resources that are in line with that. But before we continue, Bimbo, I just want to know from you because this is actually a big point. Myself, I want to learn the differences between a coach and a mentor. If you can actually help us dissect it, I'm sure that the audience will actually appreciate that.
Okay. So, the difference between a mentor and a coach. Now, the first thing I want you to see a mentor as is somebody, like I said earlier, somebody that is there to guide you through the process. Now, a mentor is going to provide a long-term support. Mentor is not just there to guide you, they are there to support you, and it's going to be long term. It's not just you having somebody for a short term that will just come and tell you, okay, this is how to do this particular this is how to do this, or this is how to do that. Now let me now put it in a clearer way. Now a coach is that person that's focused on helping you achieve a specific goal. A coach is that person that would train you to do something. Now, let me now give an example to explain this better. For instance, you are somebody that you don't know how to cook, and then you want to learn how to cook, but then you're feeling stuck, you're feeling who can I reach out to, and then you reach out to somebody that actually does cooking training videos on how to cook, and the person actually responded and told you that, okay, I'm going to teach you how to cook. Now this person now coming to teach you how to cook every day, it tells you do this, do that. He sends a video to you to watch. You go on a meeting, on a call with him, and then he explains, he tells you what to do and what not to do in that particular set time. That is what I'm going to classify as a coach, because that person is there to teach you what to do at that particular set time. So the person is telling you, giving you all that he knows, telling you do this, don't do that. Now I'm trying to break it up in a very simple, the simplest way I can. Now a mentor is that person that will not just leave you. Like, now for from the example I gave about cooking, you not knowing how to cook and then reaching out to somebody to teach you how to cook. Now if you want a mentor, you wouldn't just meet that person to teach you how to cook. No, you reaching out to a mentor, having a mentor, should be that you already have an idea, you already know how to do this thing, but then you just need somebody to support you, somebody to guide you through the process of doing it better, of doing it faster, don't of not wasting my time, your time to actually do it. That's what mentorship is. Now you, the way you reach out to a mentor is different from the way you reach out to a coach, because for mentorship you definitely reach out to that person, telling the person that you need guidance and support. And a mentor that is actually there to mentor would not coach you. The mentor would guide you through, tell you, okay, do this, this is what you have to do to actually be 3 steps ahead, this is actually what you need to do to be 7 steps ahead, this is what you need to do to achieve that thing that you actually want to achieve, right? So that is just the most basic explanation, or the most basic difference I can give as to what's the difference between coaching and mentorship. So just know that um having a coach is having somebody to actually help you achieve your specific goals, and then to also improve your performance if it's a professional line. For instance, you're a data analyst and then you don't know how to use Excel, Microsoft Excel, and you need someone to teach you how to use Microsoft Excel. Definitely you need a coach, you need somebody to train you on how to use Microsoft Excel. So what you're looking for should be somebody that will train you on how to use Excel. Now if you're looking for a mentor, you should find someone that will guide you through the process, aside somebody that will be there to tell you, okay, this is what you can do when you are using Excel to make your work faster, this is what you can do when you are using Microsoft Excel to actually have the best results that you can submit to your stakeholders. So that's actually the most basic difference. I hope I was able to answer that.
I agree with you. I agree with you. So from what you've just said, right? What I get is a mentor is beyond a coach, right? A coach is just there for you to achieve a skill, while a mentor is to help you achieve your professional goal, right?
Yeah,
Your
and it's long
your
term.
coach is, yeah, and it's a long term something, right? So, and I think while it is not while it may not be completely free, right? But I feel that to coach, you may want to pay for it, right? But for mentorship, I'm sure that it is only appreciation you can give to your mentors, because you can't really pay the amount you can't really pay for mentorship, I would say generally. You just needed somebody that will be sacrificial enough to give you that mentorship. I mean, that time that you require to come back with your issues and say, hey, I don't know this, I don't know how to go about this. So beyond the classroom trainings, the mentor will come to tell you, hey, that's not how to do it. You might rather do it this way, and then we'll always stand by you. Now, and then again, there are people that may not even be necessarily physical with you. They can just, I mean, may not be even aware that you are actually trying to seek for mentorship. And Bimbo has mentioned that you should try as much as possible to make sure that you are engaged in what they are doing, cheer them up, respect their time. And that's why we spoke about consolidated messages. And then one thing that must stand out here today for us is respect. respect from those that are mentors and from those who are mentees, and that we should try to strike off the age difference, the experience difference, the qualification difference, the gender difference in mentorship. And then you should always remember that even the mentor you are trying to have as your mentor, that you are failing to reach out to, is probably reaching out to another person to mentor him. So why put yourself in a situation where you just lost the whole thing because of ego, right? The ego that comes from the qualification that you wouldn't want. So the reason why some people will remain low in life professionally is because of the fact that they are educated. Painfully, yes, because you are now putting your degree, side by side with another person. Let's say, for example, somebody studied. We're even talking about difference in university polytechnic. What about those that even rounded off from the universities? For example, you see a friend doing very well in IT, but you know that they studied animal science, right? And then you studied computer science. How can you be reaching out to somebody who studied animal science because he's doing well in the field that you've gone to the university to study? That's another topic of conversation, because reaching out to people, you must learn to put off that qualification. Experience should be kept aside. And if it's going to be useful at all, let it be for the betterment of the engagement. Like Bimbo mentioned, the person came in with loads of experience and then brought it into the process of the mentorship, and it even aided our own growth as well. So that somebody coming to mentor you will look at your own profile and say, hey, there's even a chance that this person can contribute to me too. And then it will be like a symbiotic relationship, right? It'll be like a symbiotic relationship where you are bringing your own and I'm bringing my own. For example, I'll make an instance with Bimbo on the call here. We are rounding off in 5 minutes. When you reached out to me, it was not for mentorship, it was for something else, right? And then the way you constructed your message, it was, I told you I left also. I went away, and later I came back and I saw the content of the message and I was like, how can it be that somebody with over 30K followers on LinkedIn, this is not a small profile, coming to request of me for an assistance? I have to give it attention because I know that I have something to also gain from you. So if I were going to keep my pride to say, how will I be reaching out? I'm a Microsoft MVP. You know what MVP is? And then I'm reaching out to somebody. But today we are here together and you're just teaching me a lot of things. I am benefiting from your experience and you are now benefiting from my experience. And what you've come to request assistance for, that one is already done. That one has gone. And then if you did not come with the loads of what you have, then maybe there's no way I would have sustained this relationship, right? That would even bring us on the live call. So the point I'm trying to raise here is that use your experience, use your qualification, use your age as an advantage while asking for mentorship. You want to say, I would like you to look through my profile. I've done X, Y, and Z. I've been in this for 3, 4, 5, 10 years ago. But I see what you are doing. Looks very interesting. It's a field that I really want to venture into, but I don't really know how to start. Would you be available to please render assistance to guide me through this line? Right? And then the point of trying to humbly, encode your experiences into that request will make the person look back and say, hey, for this person to be coming this way, of course, let me, add this person to my network, because, like I mentioned, I can only see what I have, what is before me. What is at my back, I cannot see. That means this guy would have seen like a lot of things that they also want to contribute to my own growth. And then I will see it from the point of synergy. And therefore, when the person comes, you want to handle the person with respect. And then if the person is mature enough also, you will also reciprocate. So let us not look down on mentees, and let us not see that asking for help is that we are weak. I think the greatest strength is in asking for help, right? Because you have identified your weakness. A weakness identified is no longer weakness. For me, it's no longer weakness, because you know that you need reinforcement in these areas, and that's why you are reaching out. But the real weakness is in you holding on to what you think you know and allowing your ego to cover you in your pains. right? So let's break out, and then let's not put ourselves in a disadvantaged position by not seeking for assistance from people that can really render that to us. And this will help you save your time, save your energy, save other resources, and you'll be grateful that you did that. So Bimbo, final words from you, because we have like 2 minutes to round off this call.
Okay. I think my final words would just be something that we didn't really cover on the topic. Now it's just going to be me saying that you need to be mentor worthy to actually get a mentor. You need to be that person that is not just waiting around and sitting for your mentor to do everything. You're also there to show consistency. You're there to put in the work if you actually want a mentor. And that point that I actually want to chip in is that you don't need somebody of big influence to actually be your mentor, because I've seen a lot of people that they see that they can only meet people that have this fame, or would I say people that are gurus, to be their mentors. Now, one very key advice that I would give, my final advice, is that if you're in search of a mentor, if you're in search of somebody to guide you through, somebody that it could be somebody that has actually gone one step ahead, somebody that you know that have gone through the process, the stage where you presently are, somebody that has actually overcome and successfully gone through that stage, can actually mentor you successfully and then help you achieve whatever you want to achieve. So that would be my final words. And this will also bring me to saying that never you feel shy, don't feel proud or feel not worthy enough to reach out to anybody. The world is very big. There are a lot of people that are there willing to help you. You will never know until you speak up, right? So it's good that you open up, speak up, and then ask for help, and you never know where that would actually lead to, or what it will lead to.
All right, so Bimbo, thank you. I think there is a relationship between your conclusion today and last week's. Last week you said when you want to volunteer, don't only look at big organizations where everybody is rushing to, right? Look out for the ones in quote smaller ones, and as small as even that woman at the front of the house, right? Render volunteering service to her or to him as a man sitting there. And today, Bimbo is saying that do not even start running after influencers to be your mentors. Just calm down and look inwards. You'll be able to see somebody that actually knows what you are looking for, and then actually has what you need to propel yourself to the next level of your career. That said, you should also know that the influencers are quite busier and will not even have enough time to take you through and hold you through the journey. So if you want to really look for mentors, look around you very closely on your social
Mm-hmm.
media handles, on your physical locations, and all of that. You will truly be able to get one. So don't be lost because of pride. Let's swallow our prides and request for assistance. And that will bring us to the top of the hour. From next week, we'll talk about accountability, as it is also part of this conversation. And then we can talk like real life examples in terms of accountability. So this is me saying thank you very much for staying put up until this time, and we will see you again by next week, Friday. Bye.